Hey everyone, Alex here. In this video let's analyze which ailment is the best one and why. So for that, I'll put some rules to make this analysis as objective as possible. Otherwise, all of them would be S tier. Because I've seen people getting really close to sub 5 Teostra with complex sets like paralysis and sleep, poison against Kushala, and so on. The first rule will be analyze the ailment as a solo player. Number 2. The sum of stars the ailment accumulates. Right now we have 41 monsters with an ailment chart. The best case scenario will be 123 stars. We know that is not possible, but we will have something like Eds over 123, Eds being the accumulated number of stars we get. Third, weapons with at least 180 damage, making only one exception for a switch Eds. Fourth, I will take into consideration the number of monsters that have good resistance against the ailment, or if they are immune. Fifth, I'll just talk about the ailments we can use without the endemic life or another monster. Sixth, the number of weapons that can effectively use that ailment. 7. The effectiveness of the ailment once it is applied. With that in mind, let's begin with exhaust. This ailment has 38 out of 123 stars. The Elder Dragons are immune to exhaust, and 5 monsters will resist it. The only way to apply this ailment is through ammunition and blunt hits. As we saw, not every weapon is particularly good doing it. Exhausting a monster is really useful as the monster stops throwing fireballs or other attacks. Also, there is a period of time where the monster just drools all over the place. Objectively speaking, it is B tier. Sleep. This ailment has 40 out of 123. 11 monsters resist sleep, and we can use basically every weapon to inflict it. However, most weapons have a reduced amount of damage, and not every weapon is able to exploit the double damage you apply by waking up the monster. The advantage of this ailment is that you have a lot of time to sharp your weapon, buff your damage, and create a setup of barrels in case the weapon analyzed lacks the damage to wake up the monster. It is B tier. Paralysis has 52 out of 123. 10 monsters that kind of resist this ailment will be paralyzed for around 8 seconds. 23 around 13 seconds. 8 around 16 to 18 seconds. Not every weapon is good to apply this ailment as we saw, because many don't even reach the base damage of 180. However, in this case, it doesn't matter if the weapon is fast hitting or a slower weapon. You will have a set amount of time to go nuts against the monster while it is paralyzed, being able to apply huge amounts of damage. It is A tier. Stun. It has 42 out of 123. 5 monsters resist stun. Here the weapon can be exploited a lot, because it is not linked to a certain element or something like that. However, not every weapon is able to stun the monster. By stunning the monster, you have a window of time to apply also as much damage as possible, being able to break other parts and increase the time where the monster is just doing its absolutely best. A tier. Blast. 64 out of 123. There are 31 monsters with at least 2 stars or more, and 8 monsters kinda resist blast. However, if the build tries to get a huge amount of blast out of the weapon, it doesn't really matter anymore if the monster resists it or not. 37 monsters will receive 120 damage, and only 4 will receive 180 every time this ailment is applied. That without taking into consideration Teostra Souls, which increases 20% the damage applied. Every weapon is able to use Blast. Also, These weapons don't have reduced amount of damage as sleep or paralysis weapons. S tier. Last but not least, poison. It has 43 out of 123. The damage displayed will be generalized. There are 10 monsters that kind of resist poison. They will receive 140, 23 will receive 280, 6 around 420, and 2 560. For this element we can use every weapon, and the amount of damage we can get out of these weapons is much better compared with the sleep and paralysis weapons. You can use Camille's set to increase the effectiveness of the poison. However, you will be locked into 3 pieces of armor set, which is a huge investment to apply this element. A tier. If you agree or disagree, let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.